Civil War soldiers captured by the enemy often found themselves in situations more perilous than the battlefield. The prison camps of both sides were inadequate to house the large numbers of prisoners confined in them. Overcrowded and unsanitary, they were breeding grounds of disease. Many men who came in as healthy prisoners died from illnesses or malnutrition before they could be exchanged or released. In the first years of the war, prisoners were frequently exchanged. There were negotiated rates of so many privates swapped for an officer, so many officers of lower rank for officers of higher rank, and so on. Men captured in 1861 or 1862 might spend only a few months as guests of the other side. On occasions, when large numbers of men were captured at once, the victors could opt to parole them. In these cases, the surrendered troops were enrolled as prisoners, then released on their oath or parole, not to fight again until officially exchanged. This was the case with the 3rd Minnesota, captured at Murfreesboro, Tennessee in 1862. They were assigned to duty on the frontier and fought the Dakota until they were exchanged the following year. This arrangement relieved the captors of the burden of transporting and feeding a large number of captives. Under the exchange and parole system, neither side went to great lengths to adequately house or feed their temporary prisoners. As the scope of the conflict increased, and with it the number of prisoners, the entire process slowed down, worsening the conditions for POWs. In 1864, the exchange system broke down entirely. Union leaders felt the exchange of prisoners benefited the Confederacy far more than the North, and some Union generals believed that rebel troops had broken their parole on a number of occasions and returned to combat. So prisoner swaps nearly stopped. Prison camps in the North soon began to experience severe overcrowding and disease, but conditions in the South were very much worse. At this time, most Confederate prisons were little more than open pens, where the problems of disease were aggravated by exposure and starvation. With increasing numbers of unexchanged Yankee prisoners, these sites became death traps. The most notorious of these camps was Andersonville Prison, officially known as Camp Sumter, in Sumter County, Georgia, in the southwestern part of that state. Here, tens of thousands of federal prisoners were held in an open area covering 16 acres. Between February 1864 and March 1865, some 45,000 prisoners passed through Andersonville, and more than 12,000 of them died there. A number of Minnesota soldiers were prisoners of war at Andersonville, and quite a few of them did not survive the experience. The collections of the Minnesota Historical Society include accounts of survivors and some letters and diaries of men who did not make it, but were remembered by their comrades. The stories of these soldiers often recount human ingenuity and determination in the face of crushing hardships and unreasoned cruelty. They are little-told tales from the dark side of the Civil War.